Once again, welcome aboard the Discovery Princess. And let's get this cruise started.
So it is 12:11 p.m. and they just made the announcement that all of the cabins are ready. Now that's phenomenal. So I'm in B317, which apparently is this way. Oh my gosh, the luggage is here. It's 12:20. This is amazing. So let's see, I guess I do this. All right. Okay, so this is my cabin, B317, and the B stands for Baja Deck. The way Princess does their decks is each deck has a name. So Baja is deck 11. So I'm on the 11th deck, room 317. Here's the bed. You can see it's two beds pushed together. That's great. Looks like they've provided our Canadian entrance forms there. This room apparently is set up for quad occupancy because there are two fold-down beds up there as well. Won't be needing those. And then the nightstands, let's see here. I guess that's a USB plug-in, I'm not sure. I'm not seeing a whole lot of electrical outlets near the beds. In fact, I'm seeing 0 electrical outlets near the bed, but maybe they're hidden. Plenty of lighting in here. I really like this. So this is an interior cabin, by the way, if you hadn't noticed. And then over here is a very large kind of work area, desk area. There are some drawers. I like this to hold the food trays or the room service trays or whatever. I think that the purpose of this rack area up here, above where the hairdryer is, I think that the purpose of it is to allow you a place to stow your dirty dishes after you've had room service or you bring a glass back to the room or something like that. I know I see a lot of debate on cruise videos and in message boards about whether you should leave them in your room or put them out in front of the door. And I never like seeing all that stuff out in front of the door. It just makes the hallway look really junky. But having this as a place to leave your stuff until the cabin steward comes in to service your room is a great alternative. Out of the way of everything else, a dedicated spot. And of course here on Princess they service the rooms twice per day, so it's not like these dishes are going to be sitting here for hours and hours and hours. Really like this. There's a hairdryer and a refrigerator. Let's see. Looks like plenty big enough. And then some drawers here. Over here on the edge of the desk are some shelves. It's kind of a handy way to use that space too. And then here's the mirror area. All right, let's go back in. The bathroom is kind of stashed back that way. This is the temperature control. So let's see, where's the light back in here? Is it this one? Oh, it is that one. Okay. So, here we have lots of space to hang things up. And there's the life vest. There are 4 of them because we have those beds that can fold out. A lot of space to hang things up. Over here are some shelves. These shelves, and then inside this closet are more shelves. There is a room safe. I was wondering about that because I didn't see one anywhere. So yes, a room safe. Now let's go inside the bathroom. Here we go. It's a shower with a curtain. Not a glass door or plastic door or acrylic door, whatever kind of doors they are, just a curtain. And then this is a drying line. So if you have a wet swimsuit or whatever, you can stretch this across, lay your swim trunks across it in order to have them dry. We see the towel service, the basin and small countertop there. Pretty standard for a cruise ship bathroom. Not too large, but large enough. There's a shaver outlet here. Let's see. Yeah. So I only see 2 North American style plugs in here. This one here and the one that's over in front of the desk. Looking a little closer here, I just see one outlet, one North American outlet anyway. There appear to be 2 European outlets, and I don't know, that kind of looks like what I've seen in South America. There are 3 different night lights in this cabin. Over here, as you walk toward the bathroom, this one will come on, maybe. There it goes. Had to take more steps than I usually do. There also are these night lights at the base of each of the 2 nightstands on each side. So they're all motion detected, which means that when you get up in the middle of the night in an interior cabin, you're not fumbling your way around trying to find your way to the bathroom. I like it. I've been cruising for a long time, and I can remember the days when no cruise cabins had anything like this. But on the last 3 ships I've been on, I've seen things like this. So I'm definitely encouraged. It's a great innovation. One thing I have noticed is that the lamps on these nightstands do not move. So there's no trying to edge them over to the side. If you have something else you'd like to put on your nightstand that takes a little bit more room, this thing is fixed in place. I really like this cabin layout with that little alcove area which sets the closet area apart from the living space in the cabin. Now, I can't answer the question of whether or not this layout is unique to the sideways cabin that I had, but here's what to look for if you want to find a sideways cabin like this. So right now I'm walking toward the aft on the starboard side of the ship. So that would mean that the ocean is to my left. And there are cabins obviously on both sides of the corridor. But what I want to call out here is this bump out where the cabins on the ocean side get significantly larger. So these are probably suite cabins, still balcony cabins, but larger than the other cabins. And what it means is that the cabins on this side, in the interior side of the corridor, are turned sideways. So I have one of the sideways cabins. So instead of my bed being perpendicular to the direction of traffic of the boat, it actually is laid out parallel to the direction that the boat is traveling. So the hallway has several of these jigs and jags in it, where the cabins on the ocean side of the corridor are either larger or smaller. I never can decide whether I prefer to have a cabin which is closer to the pool deck and the buffet up above, or down near the decks with all the public venues, shops, restaurants, theaters, and the like, which are down below. This cabin on deck 11 split the difference between the 2 choices, located 4 decks below the Lido and 4 decks above the top of the piazza. I think that worked out well. It's also located just around the corner from the elevator lobby, which really cut down on the interminable walks down long corridors. Finally, here's something that you'll find in every cabin on board, but only on Princess: the Love Boat. So this is kind of fun. I'm not really spend a lot of time in the cabin watching TV kind of person, but I did find that they have complete seasons of the Love Boat on the in-cabin TV, and I'll confess that I did get sucked in and watch a couple of these early episodes. Of course, the Love Boat TV series featured cruises sailing from San Pedro, exactly where we left from, although I think that they used the berth right next to where we sailed out of on this particular cruise. So I ended up watching the very first episode of season number 1, and how interesting was that? All of these episodes in the first season looked like they turned out to be like a cavalcade of 1970s sitcom stars. So this first episode featured Suzanne Summers, who of course was in Three's Company, and Jimmy J.J. Walker, of course, who was in Good Times, and Bonnie Franklin from One Day at a Time, and Meredith Baxter Birney before her days on Family Ties. So that's Berth 93 right there. That's where the Grand Princess was birthed as we sailed out of LA.
They're sailing with us today.
Anyway, so much fun to be able to watch these old episodes. So go ahead and binge watch a little bit while you're sailing on Princess. And when you're tired of watching TV, don't forget that on the Discovery Princess, they still create a printed copy of the activity schedule and deliver it to every cabin every day. I like that. So anyway, that's a look around cabin number B317, interior cabin, here on Discovery Princess.